They laughed when I said I had a plan. Especially him. My own brother. He didn't just laugh. He mocked. Rolled his eyes like I was a child scribbling on a wall, calling it art. To him, my ambition was a punchline. To me, it was oxygen. They thought I was wasting time, wasting money, wasting my life. But what they didn't know, what he didn't know, was that failure wasn't the end of my story. It was the soil where something wild and unstoppable began to grow. I didn't build this life to prove them wrong. I built it because it was the only way I could survive. My name is Jordan Ellis. I'm 27 years old, and I live in Austin, Texas. Growing up, there was a blueprint. My parents were clear, and so was the world around us. You go to school. You get good grades. You pick something safe, something steady. Then you work, save, marry, retire, and die with a little dignity. My brother, Caleb, followed it perfectly. Straight A student. Scholarship to Northwestern. Finance internship before he could even drive. He made the family proud. Still does.
Me?
I was the one who colored outside the lines. Not because I didn't care, but because I saw something else. I always had ideas. Big ones. Messy ones. Ones that didn't come with roadmaps or mentors. At 17, I told everyone I wanted to start my own business. I didn't know what kind yet. Just that it would be mine. That scared them. My mom called it a phase. My dad grunted and went back to his paper. But Caleb? He laughed. Loudly. In front of everyone. A business? What are you gonna do? Sell lemonade to adults? That one stuck. He told that joke at dinner. At family gatherings. Once at Thanksgiving. And every time, I smiled like it didn't hurt. But it did. I tried to please them for a while. Enrolled in college. Business major, ironically. But every lecture made my chest feel tighter. I wasn't learning how to build something, I was learning how to serve something that already existed. And that wasn't me. By sophomore year, I dropped out. No announcement. No dramatic speech. Just a silent click on the withdraw button. My mom cried. My dad muttered something about wasted potential. Caleb didn't even ask why. He just posted some meme about hustle culture and tagged me. She's just taking a break, my aunt told people. We don't talk about that anymore, my mom whispered to church friends. I took a job at a print shop. $12 an hour. Sweeping floors. Running a register. No benefits. No future.
But peace.
God, for the first time in years, I could breathe. I watched people come in every day with these tiny dreams printed on big paper. A bakery menu. A daycare flyer. A real estate postcard with a headshot awkwardly photoshopped. And I thought, what if someone helped them make it better? What if someone made them look like they already belonged? The seed was planted. Quietly. But no one noticed. Everyone thought I disappeared. And maybe in a way I had. It started with a favor. A woman came into the shop, early 50s maybe, kind face, nervous energy. Her name was Karen, and she was starting a home baking business after getting laid off. She had the logo scribbled on a napkin. Asked if we could just blow it up for stickers. I could have handed it to my manager. Could have printed it as is and moved on. But something stopped me. Maybe it was the way her hands shook. Or how she kept saying, it's probably silly anyway. I stayed after my shift that day. Took her napkin logo home. Cleaned it up in Illustrator. Picked out fonts that matched the warmth in her voice. Colors that felt like cinnamon and hope. 2 days later, I showed it to her. She cried. I didn't expect that. I didn't know something so small could carry so much weight. You made it real, she whispered. It's like I belong now. That night, I sat in my room and stared at the ceiling. My laptop hummed beside me. And for the first time in months, I felt something other than stuck. I started offering small branding packages to people from the shop. Nothing fancy. $75 for a logo. $50 for a one-page website. I called it Side Door Studio because not everyone gets in through the front. It was slow. Slower than I wanted. Some months, I made less than $500. But I kept going. Because every time I saw someone light up when they saw their name in type, something inside me lit up too. One day, a woman named Elsie came in, 83 years old. She ran a knitting circle and wanted to put it online so the girls could keep meeting during lockdown. She brought me a sticky note with everyone's name written in shaky pen and a Polaroid from 1984. We worked on her little website for 2 weeks. She called me darlin' and brought me banana bread every other day. The night we launched, she called me in tears. "You brought my girls into my living room," she said. "I haven't seen them laugh like that in months." That one broke me a little, in the best way. I wasn't just building brands. I was helping people be seen, helping them matter. And for the first time since dropping out, I mattered too. I didn't have billboards, didn't have press, didn't have investors. But I had banana bread, and people who trusted me, and a sense, however faint, that I was exactly where I was supposed to be. It didn't make headlines, but it mattered. By year 2, Side Door Studio wasn't a side thing anymore. It was the thing. We moved out of my bedroom and into a shared workspace downtown. Exposed brick, concrete floors, the kind of place that smelled like overpriced espresso and overworked dreams. I brought on 2 part-time designers, both of whom had been let go during the pandemic. They understood what we were doing. This wasn't just branding. It was quiet empowerment. We rebranded a tutoring center run by a single mom of 3, helped a retired veteran launch an Etsy store for handmade walking sticks. One of our projects, a support network for first-gen college students, got picked up in a local publication. By now, I had invoices, calendars, a whiteboard with goals, and monthly revenue crossing the $18,000 mark. Still no billboards, still no press, but the word of mouth. It was wildfire. We were onboarding 35 to 40 small business owners a month. People who had been invisible until someone showed them their name mattered. I remember one week, we had a 78% email open rate, higher than some tech startups. I smiled when I saw the number, not because it meant I was winning, but because they were reading. The women, the elders, the soft-spoken ones who never got the mic. But at home, silence. My parents still asked Caleb for advice on real careers. When I tried to explain what I did, my dad blinked and said, "So, you what make posters?" My mom tried to be supportive, in her way. She's always been the free spirit, she'd say to neighbors. "You know, artsy." Caleb, though, he didn't even pretend. Teaching old folks to click buttons? Real noble work. "Let me know when you make your first million." At family dinners, I was still the dropout. Still the question mark. The one with potential but no stability. Once, I showed him the website we built for a local nonprofit that got them their first grant. He scrolled for 5 seconds, then shrugged. "You really should think about UX certifications. Something real employers care about." He didn't ask about the impact. Didn't care that the nonprofit used the grant to launch a shelter. Didn't see the connection between design and dignity. But I did. And so did my clients. One of them, a woman named Priya, sent me a message after we finished her rebrand. "Your work made me brave enough to say I'm a founder. Not a hobbyist. A founder." I read it 3 times. Didn't screenshot it. Didn't post it. Just sat with it. Some days, I wondered if I was being petty. Still hoping they'd see me. Still waiting for someone in that living room to say, "She built something out of nothing." But mostly I kept going. Because these stories, these tiny, personal revolutions, they were bigger than my ego. Bigger than Caleb's laughter. They were real. And even if no one in my family clapped, others did. Others thrived. Still, I never expected what would happen next. Recognition didn't come from home. It came from a stranger. It happened on a Saturday. The kind of day that feels borrowed, cool breeze, golden light, the smell of earth waking up after rain. We were hosting a small networking brunch at the studio. Nothing fancy, just coffee, croissants, and folding chairs. An excuse for our clients to meet one another, share wins, vent losses, build something that felt like community. I was refilling the carafe when I saw him walk in. Tall, confident, designer jeans, and expensive shoes. Caleb, my brother. I didn't invite him. Didn't even think he knew where the studio was. But there he was, trailing behind a woman I didn't recognize, elegant, sharp, and carrying herself like someone used to being heard. I froze for half a second, then pasted on my best host smile.
"Hey," I said, nodding.
"Didn't expect to see you here." He smirked. "Ashley wanted to check it out. Said her startup worked with some branding company that changed everything for them. Didn't realize it was yours." His tone was neutral, but something in his eyes was different. Less smug. More unsettled. Ashley, his fiancée, I would learn, walked over to the food table and started chatting with one of our clients. A few minutes later, I was standing near the window, flipping through RSVP cards when I overheard her. "Honestly, I can't thank Side Door enough," she was saying. "My dad almost didn't retire because he didn't know what to do with himself." She laughed softly. "Now he teaches watercolor to seniors online. They designed the site, set up all the tech, even created a logo that looks like his signature from when he was in the Navy." I looked up. Frozen. She kept going. "He says it saved his life. Gave him something to wake up for." Caleb, beside her, was nodding, still half smirking, until she added, "And the founder? Jordan, I think her name is? She's a freaking magician. I'd recommend her over any agency in New York." He blinked.
"Jordan," he said. "Wait."
Jordan. She nodded. "Yeah, that's her right over there. In the green shirt." His head turned, met mine, and for a beat, just one, I saw it. Recognition.
Shock.
Then something I hadn't seen from him in years. Respect. He walked over slowly. Not his usual strut. More like someone entering a room where they're not sure they belong. "That was you?" he asked. "The watercolor program? The whole platform?" I nodded.
"Yeah.
We helped build that." He ran a hand through his hair. Silent. "Ashley's dad talks about that site like it's the best thing to happen to him in years," he said. "He made me sit through a whole slideshow last Christmas." I smiled. Not smug. Just present. "I'm glad it helped him," I said. He nodded again, then laughed. Quietly, awkwardly. "I used to make fun of you, you know." I raised an eyebrow. "Still do," I said, half joking. He didn't laugh. "No, I mean really. I thought you were wasting your time. Playing dress up with logos. Chasing something that didn't mean anything."
Pause.
But that meant something. I didn't say anything.
Didn't need to.
For the first time, my work spoke louder than he did. Ashley came over a minute later. "Jordan, would you mind if I emailed you?" she asked. "My cousin's trying to launch a mental health resource, and honestly, I trust you more than anyone I've worked with." I handed her a card. "Of course," I said. Caleb looked at it. Took one too. That was the day everything shifted. Not because I demanded attention. Not because I chased validation. But because the truth walked in by itself and refused to stay quiet. The Monday after the brunch, I found a folded note on my desk. No envelope. No signature. Just my name in careful cursive on the outside. Inside, in my mother's handwriting. "I don't always understand what you do, but I'm proud of you. Always have been." Even when I didn't know how to say it. No grand gesture. No apology tour. Just that small note. It was enough. I didn't frame it. Didn't tape it to the wall. I tucked it inside a book I keep on my nightstand. Page 67, my favorite poem about building your own home from scratch. A few days later, Caleb texted. "Need a designer. You busy?" No emojis. No context. I stared at the message for a minute. Then typed back. "Send me the brief." That was it. No lectures. No gloating. He hired me to rebrand his company's internal onboarding tool. Didn't ask for a discount. Didn't micromanage. He even CC'd me on a team-wide email later that week. Working with one of the most intuitive designers I know, Side Door Studio. He didn't mention I was his sister. That, somehow, meant even more. Later, when we were reviewing mock-ups over lunch, he paused. Didn't look up from his screen when he said, "You built something real. You didn't need anyone's permission to do it." I nodded. Didn't say a word. because I didn't need to. Some victories are loud. Some arrive without fanfare. Mine came on sticky notes, quiet referrals, banana bread in Tupperware. They came in stories, in impact, in people finally seeing themselves reflected back with dignity. It wasn't pride. It was peace. The kind that settles into your bones when you stop begging to be seen. Because you already are. I stopped chasing applause. Stopped hoping for the grand speech, though we were wrong about you. Because healing doesn't always look like confrontation. Sometimes it's just a look, a nod, a shift in how someone holds your name in their mouth. I'm not angry anymore. Not bitter. I'm free. And that's something no degree, no salary, no approval can ever give you. If you've ever felt like the quiet one in the family, the misunderstood dreamer, the waste of potential in whispered living room conversations, this story was for you. Not because I have all the answers, but because I know what it's like to build your life in silence, to plant seeds while everyone else watches for fireworks, to be told you're falling behind, when really you're just choosing a different direction. I've learned that not all validation comes with a microphone. Sometimes it comes in the form of someone using your creation to get their life back. Sometimes it's not about being loud. It's about being true. If you're out there building in the dark, if you're the only one who believes in what you're doing,
Keep going.
you're not behind. You're becoming. Your work is not small just because it's not viral. Your story is not forgettable just because no one's clapping yet. Someone out there is being changed by something you created, whether you see it or not. So tell me, where are you watching from? Have you ever been overlooked?
Talk down to?
Told to get serious when all you were trying to do was be authentic? Drop your story below. Someone in the comments section might need it. This channel is for the quiet wins, the unflashy breakthroughs, the kind of growth that happens when no one's watching, and then suddenly everyone is. Thank you for being here, for listening, for choosing your own path, even when it's harder, especially when it's harder. I'll see you in the next story. But until then,
Keep building. Keep believing.
and never let anyone laugh you off your own stage. You were meant to be here.